finding domain and range of linear functions. We are starting with linear functions. What is a linear function? A linear function is a function in the form y equals to mx plus c. That is simply the equation of a straight line. And if you look at these examples given, they are in the form of the linear equation or the linear function. So to solve this, for part A, the question says find the domain and the range of the following functions. For the first, f of x equals to 3x minus 5. What is the domain? We say by definition that domain is a set of the values of x. So we simply need to identify the values of x or the real values of x that are going to give us the real values of the function f of x. And if you look at this equation, we have said it is linear. And for any value of x, for example, if x is 0, for instance, it means f of x becomes negative 5, which is a real number. And what if x is any other number? Choose any number. What if x is maybe negative 4? It means f of x becomes, substitute for negative 4 here, it gives us negative 12 minus 5 is a negative 17. So I have sampled only two numbers, two values of x. And as long as it is linear, any value of x that we substitute here will well define for us the function. So here, for any value of x that we put, there is a real value of the function f of x. So the domain here is going to be the set of real numbers, set of all real numbers. This means that domain, which is a set x, is a set of real numbers. As long as it is linear, domain will always be a set of real numbers. This is, we have stated this in the set builder notation. Now, let's see how we can express the same domain in the interval notation. Let me go to next page. Domain here in the interval form is the set of real numbers from negative infinity up to positive infinity. And this is the answer in interval notation. What about the range of the same function, 3x minus 5? Now let's go to the range. Our function is f of x, 3x minus 5. Remember, range is a set of the values of y. And the set of the values of y must be well defined by x or by the domain. So what we do here, we say let, and of course this is true, y is the same as f of x. Then we make y the subject. Then we substitute for y there as the subject. Y becomes 3x minus 5. And then here we make x the subject. Make x the subject of the formula. So when we make x the subject there, we shall have y equals to 3x minus 5. X as the subject becomes y plus 5 out of 3. Now, the range are the values of y for which there are corresponding real values of x. If I put y here to be 0 and substitute, y will be a real number. If I put y to be maybe negative 10, still I will get a real value of x. So the same here, range is going to be a set of real numbers. Set of all real numbers. Because regardless of the value of y that we are putting, there is a corresponding value of x. The values of y that we substitute to test must be real numbers. So in the set Bueller notation, we have set y for which y members are real numbers. Or if you want to state it in the interval notation, it means the range is from negative infinity up to positive infinity. And now going to part B, we are finding domain and range. So the domain for this linear function will be, if you look at this, for any value of x, for any real value of x that we put here, there is a corresponding real output value of the function f of x. Therefore, the domain is a set of real numbers, set of all real numbers. That means the domain will run from negative infinity up to positive infinity, because for any value of x that we substitute here, however big it is, it gives us a corresponding real value of the function. Therefore, the domain is a set of real numbers. Always remember that domain is a set of the real values of x. So this is the domain in set builder notation. The question can be specific, so customize according to the question. Or in the interval notation, it runs from negative infinity up to positive infinity. This is in the interval notation. But the two answers have the same implication. So the domain for this linear function is the set of all real numbers, which are the values of x. And this one or this one is the correct answer. And what about the range? For us to find the range, we start by making x the subject of the formula. So to make x the subject, just say y is the same as the function f of x. So y equals to negative 8x plus 6. If I make x the subject of the formula here, it means x becomes y minus x out of negative 8. If you look here, remember the range is the set of the values of y. So for any value of y that we put here, there will always be a corresponding real value of x. For any real value of y that we put, that means that the range in this case is what? A set of all real numbers. That means here our range, which is set y, becomes a set containing all the real values of the function y. And in the interval notation, this is the same as y runs from negative infinity up to positive infinity. This is the set Bueller form, set Bueller notation. And then this one is what we call the interval notation. So this is the solution to example 1 part B.